Local filmmaker Royston Tan's latest feature film, called 24, is slated to premiere at the Busan International Film Festival next month. The film features the journey of a sound recordist who visits 24 places after he dies. Every scene was taken in a single shot, just like how photos capture individual moments. It's filmed over 3 years in Singapore and Thailand and is one of 7 titles vying for the Kim Jiseok Award. And for more, we're joined by the man behind it himself, Royston Tan. Royston, great to have you with us. Your movie titles always seem to have a play on numbers. Tell us more about this one, 24.
Okay, so 24, the reason why I call this film 24 is because, based on the journey of the sound recordist who visited 24 places. And I believe that every one of us should have a second chance to revisit places and people that matters to us. Because after all, places are just places unless we put memories to it. And so it's human. Unless we put attachment to it, they become special.
Royston, tell us more about the inspiration behind this piece.
24 was inspired by this short film that I've done called 36 Ways to Say Good Morning. And what happened was that in that one particular shot, I have James, my sound recordist, who is actually in that frame. And when I saw it, it haunted me because, for sound recordists, they rarely get to be in front of the camera. But this time, he can be in front of the camera. And we have collaborated for 20 years. He's my one and only sound man that I actually work with. So we talk about our journey together, about places that we want to revisit and characters that we have actually created together. So and hence, we have this concept of 24.
Yeah, we're seeing some of the images on our screens at the moment, and we can see the sound man with his boom raised. Give us a sense then of some of the types of scenes that you choose and why you chose them.
This film is almost like, I'm just going to turn 45 this year, and it's an introspective way of me revisiting the characters that I visited. So I sort of bring together a lot of reunion of the cast who have appeared in my film, as well as bring the audience to the last mountain, as well as the overseas lotus pond in Udon Thani, which took us a year to wait for the season and to film there.
Royston, we've all gotten a little bit older during this pandemic. 45, you're still very young for a filmmaker. I know that your budget for the film was about $200,000 and funding was tough. It has been for filmmakers during this pandemic. How did the challenges in creating this film compare to the previous ones you've made?
Well, in the past, when we make other films, there are a lot of commercial consideration. We can play with very big sets and things like this. But this round, because this film itself is not very commercial viable, it's an introspective film, a journey for me. So we strip away all the luxury of really big budgets and really go down to how I first started making films in my poly days. And it's really a walk down my journey to revisit a lot of people and how I actually started.
It does sound like very much a personal project, this one. And you've said it's your most personal film that you've made so far. What connects you to it? Is it part of the filmmaking process that gets to sort of be seen as well?
Well, I think I have to trace this back to 2012 when I was in Tokyo. The festival programmer, Mr. Kim Jiseok, approached me, and I was in a very difficult time because for artists, sometimes we go through mental block, and it's just so difficult. And he just told me that take your time to find your heart. And no matter how long it takes, Busan Film Festival will always be there. But the most important thing is you have to be true to yourself and tell the stories that you really want to tell. And that took many years. And I'm glad that I can show this film and premiere this in Busan International Film Festival. And I hope that Mr. Kim will be very proud of me when he sees this in heaven.
It sounds like you're coming full circle with it as well. Thanks so much for speaking with us about it. We've been speaking with Royston Tan, a filmmaker, And of 24, it will be featured at the Singapore International Film Festival after its Busan debut.